Some of you may be familiar with comedian Whitney Cummings. Who is Whitney Cummings, you might ask? Well, she is the sister of much more famous Dabbleverse queen, Ashley Cummings. You know, with the old lady neck. And Whitney's been having a bad time. She's been having a bad time. Her downfall started a few years ago when she knifed Chris D'Elia in the back and Brian Callen in the back. And started doing this whole Me Too thing, right, with all these ladies. And Whitney's never been funny. She's always been a part of that Comedy Store, LA, whatever crew. And she went away for a while. She married some domestic abusing skateboarder. Like, you know, that whole thing. So anyway, Whitney came back, started doing a podcast recently. There are some very dedicated, eagle-eyed watchers who have been keeping an eye on Whitney Cummings' podcast on YouTube and basically coming out and saying like, these numbers don't add up. Whitney would get unbelievable amounts of views in a very short amount of time on every new episode of her podcast. However, as most of us know, there are certain metrics that go along with views. If you're an idiot. If you buy views, you're just an idiot, because it's very easy to figure out if somebody bought views, if they buy subs, because all the metrics need to line up. They all need to line up. So if you have way too many views, but not enough likes, no comments, that's suspicious. And a lot of people have come out and said that it's pretty obvious Whitney is buying views, overhyping her own podcast. Nobody's watching her. Nobody cares. I think Alex Stein even doubled down and was posting screenshots. The guy, numero uno, Josh Denny fan, the guy that's like, that wants to eat like fucking Mike David's cum. That guy has been tracking it. Alex Stein's, a lot of people have been tracking it. And Whitney's numbers have been very sus. And Whitney's been having a bit of a mental breakdown. I think it runs in this family, right? I think that the Cummings sisters are, they're all batshit crazy. Like, they all just come off like upper middle class, like heavily molested fucking psycho women. So in the midst of Whitney's meltdown, she's catching shit from all sides of the internet, but now she's catching shit from a new corner of the internet called the Dabbleverse. Because Ashley is also a nutcase, spastic lunatic.
I don't know how else to say this. This is the year I'm going to block you. I've never blocked people, but this is the year I'm going to block you. I'm going to turn you into block. It's the year that if you are a dork or a dweeb or a kook or a nut or a drip or a pissant or a butthead, I'm going to block you.
I'm going to block you. Is she doing the Opie thing now? Is she going to do the Opie thing? You know, I always said that, like, you know, obviously comedians, talented comedians, right? They say funny things. Whereas retards on the internet who want to be funny say things funny. There's two things you can do in life. You can either say funny things or you can say things funny. And saying things funny is the lowest, like, form of doing it. It's the Opie thing. Hello, doggy. Hello, doggy. You know, Opie's like, bom, 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 bom. You know, what's the other one he used to always do? I don't even care. The fucking haters, man. Hi, doggy. Is she doing the Opie thing where she says things funny because she can't come up with funny things to say?
I used to not because I felt like the message was like, they got to me. I'm not going to give them the time of day, you know, or that I was going to go like, tell people like I can't handle it. And they're going to be like, Whitney blocked me. She can't handle that truth or whatever.
And by the way, just a heads up out there, and I'm guilty of it too. So I'm not saying I've never done it. You shouldn't talk about the fucking haters during your show. Try to have some consideration for the audience that is listening to your show. They don't know who the haters are. They don't care. So, and look, I'm guilty of it. I don't generally go off on rants about the haters, and I don't talk about the trolls. Like when you talk about them as an abstract thing and do a 20-minute segment about them, nobody cares. Now, I will admit I am guilty of going off on individual trolls. Like somebody will say something once in a while and I'll fucking tell them to go fuck their mother and then I'll ban them or whatever. But as far as like these people that do and then they'll go on other podcasts and talk about the haters. And it's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about what you're going through in your life. You were literally just a jerk 2 minutes ago. So this is another mistake that you'll see. Brendan Schaub has made this. Mark Harley made this mistake at one point. Whitney Cummings makes it. A lot of people make this mistake. Sam Tripoli makes it. Where they sit around and go, man, these trolls, man. And then these trolls. And then you got these trolls. Whitney's cracking. She's cracking. And what she's doing is also, she's trying to conflate the trolls and the people being mean to her and the so-called Dabbleverse with the valid criticisms that she's receiving about buying subs, buying views, lying to her advertisers. This is another problem that some of these YouTubers are going to have to start being very careful with. Royce and I have never lied about our numbers. You just haven't. Frankly, for as long as we've been doing this, and, you know, for as many people kind of know what our show is, Royce and I are, if anything, underachievers. We don't have big numbers, but we've never had big numbers because we don't want to, first of all, you don't want to lose sight of, you don't want to go through what they went through with Hillary in 2016, where you start making up numbers. But then you get so confused after a while, you start believing your own made up numbers. And then you don't even know what's going on. But Royce and I have always had pretty numbers, you know, we do all right. But me and Royce have never had like some explosion suddenly where people go, whoa, where are all these people coming from? You know? And the reason we've always done that is because we know that unlike other creators, because of our canceled nature and our right-wing shenanigans, people are going to look at us harder. They're always going to audit us harder than other people. So we never want to go to a potential advertiser with lying. It literally, if you buy views and then you pitch those analytics to a potential advertiser, that's literally fraud. And what she's doing, allegedly, is fraud. A lot of these people are defrauding potential advertisers by saying, oh, well, you know, yeah, I got 500,000 people watching. You know, this is a big deal it's not regulated on the internet as much as it is on, but in television and in radio, if we back in the day when I saw radio advertising, if we were to lie about our ratings to a potential sponsor and go, oh yeah, we got hundreds of thousands of people tuned in when it's not true, that's fucking fraud. People would go to jail for that. So now Whitney's starting to crack and she's like, the haters, the trolls, they're all doing it. Yeah, but you are also lying. There are haters and there are trolls, Whitney, but you're also lying about your fucking numbers.
I was like, I don't want to give them that, you know? I'm at capacity on nerds. And it used to be that the nerds were the ones that were bullied, but now the nerds are the bullies. All and right. It took me a second to realize that. So
nice. Flip the script on them. Yeah, you're the nerds. Shut up.
So you're not a troll. You're a bull.
Hey, Whitney, you're a nerd now. You're a dork. Your brand isn't cool anymore. When was Two Broke Girls or whatever? What was that show she did? How long ago was that? You're no more or less hip than the guys from Workaholics were. You know what I mean? Like Two Broke Girls was basically Workaholics for girls. And it was out like right after Workaholics ended. So how relevant are the Workaholics guys now? Not Adam. Adam Devine's doing great, but you're not cool anymore, Whitney. You're not in a position to tell anybody they're nerds.
Bully. And I can block a bully. Like, that's okay, right? Which, by the way, to block a bully because they just want attention and are lonely and sad is bullying a bully. But this might be the year that I bully bullies. Maybe that.
By the way, there's a bunch of people in my chat saying Whitney was hot for 5 minutes back in the day. Some people saying I used to think she was attractive. Any of you that ever thought Whitney Cummings was attractive, you need to get your fucking eyes checked. Whitney Cummings has looked like she is in her mid-40s since she was in her 20s. And now that she's in her mid-40s, she looks like she's in her 60s.
That's okay. And file it under self-care. Because you can do anything as long as you say it's self-care. It's also just like, I got to be honest with you, I got to block some people because it's like too cringe now that I'm a mom. And
hey, dumb bitch, you can just block people.
Almost, I mean, I'm over 3 years sober now. Like, I'm getting all my feelings back. Like, I can't take the cringe.
You are not sober. I can look at you in 2 seconds and tell you're not sober. Matter of fact, I can't fucking stand Ashley Cummings, but she seems more sober than you do, Whitney. Woke David Koresh for 5 said, are these unique viewers that she's purchasing? I don't know. I don't know how any of that shit works. Again, I've never bought bots. I don't see the value in it. You know, and I've had people go, oh, right, you don't buy bots. No, I don't buy bots. I've been accused of buying bots, although anybody that's ever accused me of that looks like a fucking idiot because my numbers are not that impressive. Oh, she wasn't on Two Broke Girls. She was on one of these girls shows. Was it Girls then? She might have been the show Girls. I don't know. Some dumb show about girls. Some show I didn't watch. But yeah, as far as buying bots goes, I never saw the value in it. Because, you know, when I say, oh, I wouldn't buy bots or whatever, you know, then people go, oh, right. Because you're so honest, right? Because you wouldn't tilt the scale. You wouldn't put your thumb on the scale a little bit if it benefited you. Oh, I absolutely would. Absolutely. I am willing to do a little Eddie Guerrero, right? A little bit of lie, cheat, and steal. I mean, I'm not saying go crazy with it, and there are ways to cheat a little bit in life. Buying bots, however, there's never been an upside to it. First of all, when you buy bots, you have to start buying bots one day. And you're going to see a big jump in numbers, and it's going to be very suspicious. The other reason I never bought bots is because 99% of the time when people buy bots, it's much easier for people to see that you're buying the bots than to convince people those are real numbers. So the only reason I never bought bots is because there's nothing but downside to it, and there's really no reward to it. Jim Edwards said, Royce bought Twitter followers when everyone was doing it back then for hippo. Yes, so did I. That's different. Twitter followers is different. Try to keep up, Jim. Did I say Twitter followers? No, I didn't.
Of people being dorks in my comments, like, I'm too embarrassed for you. And
yeah, back in 2010, buying Twitter followers made sense because back then people would just look at oh, wow, he's got a lot of followers. It was a lot more innocent of a time back then, and you could fake it till you made it. I'm talking about nowadays. Buying bots, fake donations to Patreon and shit. Now, fake donations make sense when, like, Aaron does it, right? When Ralph does it, because, again, it's not $7,000 a month. If it's just one dono for the day, I'll give myself $25 so it looks like I hit the goal. That's what? You're going to lose $5 on processing charges? Fine, whatever. But I'm talking about faking these mass amounts of things. This shit costs money and people are going to see through it. You're just wasting money.
Schadenfreude is not my thing. In 2026, cannot spend bandwidth on the cognitive dissonance that I would have to provide or conjure up in order to not see the shocking irony and the required for you to type that I'm trying too hard when this is my job.
My job.
I'm doing my job.
My job.
And trying hard is cool.
My job.
If it's your job. But this is your hobby. You know what I mean? Also, that's now your online footprint forever. I don't want to be a part of your online footprint.
I don't want to be a part of your world.
I don't want my name to be in the mouth of your insurance company. Okay? When they go through your online history and they're like, do we cover this therapy for them? Do we cover it? I mean, they were commenting on Whitney Cummings' Instagram that she's a tryhard. So aren't comedians, first they'll be like, who's that? And they'll be like, oh, a female, aren't they supposed to try hard? I think we just put them in an asylum. I think we'll cover.
Are you being funny right now?
The ambulance ride from the 5150 location.
Hey, Whitney, this right here is why you're getting destroyed. This is why you are washing away into the sea as other people overtake you. This is why you're drowning in an ocean of skanks, Legion of Skanks types, and Tim Dillons. People are watching Boys Cast now. People watch Tim Dillon now. You're done. You're finished. You're not funny. This whole bit you're doing stinks.
To Orchid Fields Insane Asylum. So I'm blocking you. I used to kind of come back and be like, cool comment, or you rule. That's my favorite one. Just you rule. But not anymore. I'm blocking you. I'm not going to get off my phone. It's not going to happen. That ship sailed, okay? That would be like an amputation at this point. Let's stop pretending we're going to get on our phone. Just stop following morons and liars, thieves, and worms. Stop.
No.
Following Drek and trash, right? Honestly, no. I should be on my phone more. I should scroll more. Just have it be smarter people.
Oh, smarter people. You're fucking a 40-something-year-old skateboarder. Let's calm down, lady. You're not exactly going to give birth to any Rhodes Scholars, especially at your age, on account of they'll be retarded.
If you attack people online, you're the loser.
Hey, Earth to stupid, 99.9% of the internet exists for basically pornography and saying shitty things to people on the internet. That's it.
I wouldn't be defending myself. If someone attacked me online, I would be punching down, right? Someone who is sadistic
and it was Maddie Smith
wants to tell me I'm not funny, during their workday, who doesn't know the definition of there and
what
there.
What is this? What is this?
TGIR and THY posture. What do I do? I mean, ignoring it is also mean. That's always where I've been. I'm always I can't ignore this comment because this person is doing it because they need to.
Ma'am, how am I supposed to believe you're not on drugs when you're scratching, you're itching, you're waving your hands around like a frantic lunatic?
Be seen and heard, and they're lonely. And they know that.
And again, I'm somebody who obviously not the biggest fan of Ashley Cummings. I think Ashley Cummings is an untalented piece of shit. I think that she is a fake person who tries to act like she's a good person, but she's just as much of a fucking bottom-feeding piece of trash as anyone else in the Dabbleverse. I think Ashley Cummings is a piece of shit. But that being said, Whitney, you're the one always calling Ashley a drug addict and a this and a that and a whatever. When I've talked to Ashley, I've been on streams with Ashley. I've seen Ashley on other streams. Again, I'm the furthest thing from a fan of Ashley Cummings, but she comes off a hell of a lot more sober than you do, ma'am.
Have a penchant for crowd work. The point is, I owe an apology to some people, and it's actually pretty serious. I feel bad. There's no easy way to say this. I do need to openly apologize to a couple people who have accused me of hiring bots to watch my podcast or hack the numbers of the podcast. I am not even erudite enough about bots to know what exactly I'm being accused of, but I'm going to apologize.
Okay, so Whitney, let me clear the air a little bit. Let me help you out with this. First things first. None of us think that you are smart enough. None of us think that you personally know how to operate bots. None of us think that you personally swiped your Amex card, or, you know, if you were Chad Zumach, nobody thinks you swiped your Amex card that you stole from a gym to buy followers. We're not saying that. Someone in your organization is definitely buying bots for your stupid show. The metrics don't add up. If you get 1 million likes, or forget about 1 million, if you get 10,000 views on a video, there is a certain minimum amount of likes and comments you should just get naturally. We don't think that you're some tech genius who figured out how to hack the fucking... No, we don't think that. We do think that you're willing to go wherever it takes to still appear successful. And I think people on your team got you bots. The way I think it happened is there was a conversation. There was probably a conversation and it probably went like this. So, like, what happens if, like, not enough people watch it? Like, is there any way, like, I don't know, is there any way for us to, like, juice the numbers a little bit? Do you think there's, like, a way we could, like, put our thumb on the scale or something? There's got to be a way, right? And somebody went, oh, there's ways. Yeah, if you want me to, you know, juice the numbers a little bit, I could do that. Oh, my God, that would be so great. I don't want to know the details, but that would be great. If you could just give us a little boost, that would be great. No, nobody thinks you're hacking computers, you stupid bitch. Again, you're fucking a 40-something-year-old skateboarder. Nobody thinks you're making genius decisions on a business level.
Anyway, also, look, if anything they are accusing me of, to be clear, was true, inflating numbers artificially on YouTube.
Inflating numbers, buying bots, stealing your sister's horse.
YouTube are fraud. It's called fraud. YouTube would have taken my channel by now, but we're going to keep logic out of this. Okay. You're not insulting me. You're kind of insulting YouTube. You're just calling YouTube criminals, but it's...
Well, first of all, they are. First of all, YouTube are criminals. I don't think any of us even disputes that. That being said, no, we don't think YouTube is in on the fucking grift. Now, an argument can be made that YouTube has been more forgiving in recent years of people botting than they used to be because, well, they want the numbers. Yeah, we're not accusing. The only one we're accusing of impropriety is you and your team.
Weird. When someone insults you, they accidentally reveal how powerful they think you are. Like, if I was using bots to having a crime bulb.
All right, again, a point of order, dumb bitch. Couple three things. One, you're hiding behind something that nobody believes. For one, you're like, well, you're accusing me of committing a crime and buying bots. But now you're also accusing YouTube of being in on it, right? Because if I am buying bots, that's a crime. So how come YouTube hasn't come after me yet? It's very simple, Whitney. Because YouTube isn't the police. YouTube is not the FBI. YouTube is also not going around looking for legal problems on their platform. That would be suicide. What YouTube does, YouTube's dedication to their platform remaining, lawful is the same as their DMCA system. Now, if you DMCA somebody, that means, do a copyright claim and get a video taken down, get them a strike for stealing your content. YouTube doesn't really go around looking for copyrighted content. At least they used to not. I mean, now they do it a little bit more because they have the bots and stuff. YouTube's not going around just looking to snitch on its own creators. However, Whitney, if somebody were to open up a criminal investigation into the numbers on your channel, then YouTube would have a vested interest in it. YouTube's not going around looking for people botting because, yeah, they kind of benefit too from getting all those views. And because they're not breaking the law, worst case scenario, like for instance, if I just said, you know what, I'm going to start Ralph-a-botting it. You know what? I'm going to have 2,047 people watching me every day. Oh, how many people watch your show? 100,000 people every day watch my show. Wow, those are good numbers. We'd like to pay you this much money. Now I take the money, right? Under the fake guise that I'm making I got 100,000 people watching. In that instance, I have now committed a crime. I have committed fraud. YouTube has not committed fraud. Rumble has not committed fraud. They have plausible deniability. It's very likely that YouTube and or Rumble aren't in on it at all. But the minute the police come, or the minute a big corporation or Blue Chew or somebody contacts YouTube, contacts Rumble and says, we want to see an audit of this. We think that the person we're in business with is defrauding us, and we would like an audit of their channel, their numbers, their IP address, whatever. We want to see how much of their traffic seems genuine. Then the company will say, oh, absolutely. We will do whatever we can to cooperate with the authorities in this matter. Leave us out of it. Same thing they do with the DMCA strike. If I say, hey, Scarface uploaded a video of mine, I own that video. He has no right to fucking stream it. I want it taken down. I own that. I'm making a legal declaration that I own that stuff and I want it taken down. They take it down from Scarface's channel. He doesn't get a strike automatically. That's where the 2 weeks comes in with the DMCA. So if I get your video taken down, you can appeal it or whatever, or counterclaim. It's up to me within 2 weeks to prove to YouTube that I am seeking legal action. I have to file paperwork. I have to have my lawyers contact YouTube. YouTube needs to verify that there is movement in a court case. Then YouTube goes, leave us out of this. Same thing if you're buying bots. They're going to go, leave us out of this. We will cooperate with the police. So you're acting like nobody's accusing YouTube of being in on a crime. We think you're buying bots, you dumb bitch. We think you got sloppy doing it. And I think a lot of eyes are on you now and you're panicking. And now people can contact your sponsors. People can contact anybody you're doing live reads for. People can contact the authorities if they see fit and say, this woman is committing fraud. And let me tell you something. All of a sudden, this shit you're saying YouTube doesn't know anything about, they'll find that info and they'll know everything about it. And they're not going to help you. They're going to help the police and they're going to kick you off their fucking platform. Bet.
If you don't keep my crimes up, you'll see. And they're like, okay. Like if I commit fraud and then I have so much power that I convince YouTube to not take my channel down, like the company's like, okay, fine, we'll just fold. Clickety-click-clacking. If someone with a podcast sees my comments.
Has this bitch ever been funny? Like, I'm being honest. I'm asking a genuine question. Has this bitch ever been funny? Because I don't. So, what's her face? Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, two very funny women. Bonnie McFarlane, hilarious. So they do exist. Whitney Cummings, not fucking funny. I'm sorry, you're just not funny. To this day, I couldn't tell you a Whitney Cummings bit, joke, segment, clip. I've never seen Whitney funny. I'll go so far as to say this. I've seen Ashley Cummings be funny.